In June 2018, a newlywed couple bought their dream home in East Atlanta. Within hours of moving in, a horrible smell filled the house. For over a week, the husband made jokes blaming his wife, humiliating her in front of friends and family. When she finally left him, desperate and alone, he discovered the real source of the smell. 3 bodies hidden in a secret attic, zipped inside sleeping bags. But the nightmare had only just begun, because the killer was coming back. This is that story. Before we continue, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to hear this story. If you're comfortable, let me know where you're listening from and what time it is where you are. Now let me tell you this story. Leon Robinson was 29 years old, a software engineer. His wife Tamara was 27, a registered nurse. They just bought their first house in East Atlanta. 3 bedrooms, 1965 construction, $280,000. They closed on June 15, 2018, and moved in the same day. By that evening, Tamara noticed something wrong. "Leon, do you smell that?" she asked, walking through the living room with a box of dishes. Leon was assembling their bed frame in the master bedroom upstairs. "Smell what?" "That. Smell. Come down here." Leon came downstairs, sniffed the air. Yeah, there was something. Faint, musty, organic. "Damn, babe," Leon said, grinning. "Already? We just moved in." "What?" "I'm just saying. Maybe hold it until we get the bathroom situation figured out." He laughed. Tamara's face went cold. "That's not me. I'm playing. Probably just old house smell. We'll air it out." They opened all the windows, unpacked boxes, ordered pizza, fell asleep exhausted on their new mattress. But the smell didn't go away. Over the next week, it got worse. Much worse. By day 3, Tamara was sleeping in the guest room. By day 5, she was sleeping on the couch. The smell had taken over the entire upstairs. And Leon kept making jokes. "Babe, maybe lay off the Taco Bell. You sure you don't need some Pepto? Stress does crazy things to your digestive system, I'm just saying." Each joke made Tamara angrier. Each accusation drove them further apart. By day 7, they weren't speaking at all. Friday, June 22nd, day 8. Leon's friends Marcus and Dre came over to help paint. Tamara was at work. The moment Marcus walked in, he stopped. "Yo, what is that smell?" "Dead rat or something," Leon said. "Man, that smells like a dead person." They tried to paint. Couldn't ignore the smell. Took a lunch break on the porch. "Where's it coming from?" Marcus asked. "Upstairs. So bad we can't even sleep up there. Tamara thinks I'm crazy." "I think." Leon lowered his voice. "Honestly, bro, I think it might be her. You know, digestive issues or whatever. She's been stressed about the move and..." "Excuse me?" All 3 froze. Tamara stood in the doorway. "Home early. Heard everything." "Tamara," Leon started. "Don't." Her voice shook with rage. "For 8 days I've been telling you something's wrong, and you've been telling people I'm disgusting?" "I didn't say that. You just did." "I heard you." Marcus and Dre were already leaving, car doors slamming, driving away fast. "How many people have you told, Leon?" "Babe, I was joking." "I'm not laughing. You've been blaming me instead of checking the house." "I checked everything. Drains, vents, everything." "Clearly not everything. Because the smell is still here." She went inside, came back 10 minutes later with a bag. "Where are you going?" "My sister's. And don't call me until you find out what that smell is. Because I promise you, it's not me." She drove away. Leon stood alone, his marriage falling apart, the smell still hanging in the air. Saturday, June 23rd, day 9. Leon woke up alone, called Tamara, voicemail, texted her, no reply. He sat on the edge of the guest room bed, head in his hands. Everything was falling apart. His marriage, his dream house, everything. He had to find the source of that smell, had to fix this, had to save his marriage. He started in the master bedroom, examined every inch, tapped walls listening for hollow spots, checked the ceiling, looked for access panels. Nothing. He went into the walk-in closet, stood there, looked around. Wait, something was wrong with the dimensions. Leon stepped back into the bedroom, looked at the wall. The bedroom was 12 feet wide. He'd measured it when they moved in. He went back into the closet. The closet was only 6 feet deep. 12-foot wall. 6-foot closet. Where were the other 6 feet? Leon's heart started pounding. He moved to the back wall of the closet, tapped it. Hollow. He started pulling at the drywall. It wasn't properly attached, just tacked up, like someone had done a rush job, like someone was hiding something. The drywall panel came loose in his hands. Behind it, darkness, and a small wooden door, maybe 4 feet tall, the kind of door you'd find leading to an attic. The smell poured out through the gaps around the door. So strong, Leon gagged. Stepped back, eyes watering. He grabbed the doorknob, turned it. The door opened inward. Behind the door, steep wooden stairs, almost like a ladder, leading up into blackness. There is an attic, Leon whispered. He pulled out his phone, turned on the flashlight, aimed it up the stairs. They disappeared into darkness above. Leon started climbing, one step at a time, the smell getting worse with every step, suffocating, thick, wrong. He reached the top. Had to hunch over. The ceiling was low, maybe 5.5 feet. The space was cramped, 8 by 10 feet, dark except for his phone light. He swept the light across the space. 3 sleeping bags, lined up against the far wall, all zipped closed. Dark stains on the wooden floor around them, stains that had soaked deep into the wood. Leon's breath caught. No, he whispered. Please, no. He moved closer. Phone shaking, light jerking across the bags. He reached for the first sleeping bag, grabbed the zipper, pulled it down. The bag fell open. A body tumbled, partially out. It was mummified. The skin was hardened and dark from the passage of time and the heat of the attic. The face was frozen in a terrible state. It was a sight no one should ever see. The clothes were tattered and old. Leon screamed, stumbled backward, lost his footing on the steep stairs, fell, tumbled down, hitting the wooden steps, pain exploding through his shoulder, his hip, his back, hit the closet floor hard. His phone flew from his hand, skittered across the carpet, flashlight spinning wildly. Leon scrambled to his feet, grabbed his phone, ran out of the closet, out of the bedroom, down the main stairs, into the living room. His hands shook so violently he could barely hold the phone, could barely see the screen, could barely dial. 911. Ring. Ring. 911. What's your emergency? Bodies, Leon shouted, voice breaking. There are bodies. Dead bodies in my house. Sir, please calm down. What is your location? Leon gave the address, his whole body shaking now, adrenaline flooding his system. Sir, what do you mean by bodies? Dead people, 3 of them in sleeping bags in the attic. They're dead. They're mummified. You're saying you found human remains in your residence? Yes. 3 bodies. Dead for months, maybe years. Okay, sir. Officers are being dispatched to your location right now. I need you to exit the house immediately. Do not touch anything else. Can you get outside safely? Yes, I'm going outside. Leon ran to the front door, grabbed the doorknob, turned it, pulled. The door wouldn't open. He pulled harder. Nothing. It wasn't locked. It was stuck. Or blocked. Or, sir, are you outside? The door won't open. Is it locked? No. It's stuck. Something's wrong with it. Try another door. Back door, side door, any other exit. Leon ran through the living room, through the dining room, into the kitchen, to the back door, grabbed the knob, pulled. Also stuck. It won't open either. None of the doors will open. Sir, stay calm. Officers are 3 minutes away. Is there a window you can exit through? Leon looked at the kitchen window, then remembered. The realtor had mentioned it. Security feature from the previous owner. Metal bars on all the ground floor windows. The windows have bars. I can't get out. And then, darkness. Every light in the house went out. Refrigerator stopped humming. AC stopped running. Complete silence. Complete blackness except for Leon's phone flashlight. "Sir? What's happening?" "The power just went out. Everything just crash." The sound of breaking glass. From the back of the house, from the mudroom off the kitchen, Leon froze. Footsteps, heavy boots, walking across broken glass, walking through the mudroom, walking toward the kitchen, toward Leon. "Someone's in the house," Leon whispered into the phone. "What?" "Someone just broke in. Someone is in my house." A beam of light appeared in the mudroom doorway, a flashlight, sweeping back and forth, and behind it, a silhouette, a man, large, moving into the kitchen. "Who are you?" the man shouted, heavy Russian accent. "Who is here?" Leon didn't answer, didn't move. His phone flashlight pointed at the floor, trying not to be seen. The man's flashlight swept across the kitchen, found Leon standing by the back door. They locked eyes. The man stepped fully into the kitchen. His flashlight illuminated his face. Late 40s, pale, unshaven, cold blue eyes, and in his other hand, a crowbar. "Viktor Petrov." "You," Viktor said slowly. Recognition dawning. "You bought this house." Yes. "What are you doing here? You can't be here." Viktor's expression hardened. "You found them." Leon's throat was dry. "The police are coming. They're on their way right now." Viktor looked down at the crowbar in his hand, then back at Leon. "Then I have no choice." He raised the crowbar, started walking toward Leon. Leon's survival instinct kicked in. He ran, not toward Viktor, away, through the dining room, toward the front of the house, toward the stairs. "Stop!" Viktor roared behind him. Leon took the stairs, 3 at a time, his heart hammering, his lungs burning. Reached the second-floor hallway, his phone flashlight jerking wildly as he ran. He could hear Viktor's boots on the stairs behind him, heavy, fast, getting closer. Leon ran into the master bedroom, slammed the door. No lock. He looked around frantically. The dresser was too heavy to move. The bed wasn't assembled yet. Nothing to block the door with. "You shouldn't have come back here," Viktor shouted from the hallway. "I live here," Leon screamed back. "I bought this house. You sold it to me. You found them. Now you die like they did." The door flew inward. Viktor's boot. Crack. The frame splintered. The door held but barely. Leon looked around. The windows had those same security bars. The closet led to the attic. That was a dead end. The bathroom. Leon ran into the master bathroom, slammed that door. This one had a lock. He twisted it, heard it click into place. Viktor's footsteps entered the bedroom, slower now, casual, like he had all the time in the world. "I came to move them," Viktor said, his voice calmer, almost conversational. "I heard house was sold. I came tonight to take them away. I have van. I was going to move bodies. Take them far away. Bury them in woods. You weren't supposed to be here." Leon pressed his back against the bathroom wall, looking for anything he could use as a weapon. A razor? Too small. The plunger? Useless. The shower curtain rod? Maybe. "They saw too much," Viktor continued, walking around the bedroom. "All 3. They threatened everything I built, everything I worked for. 12 properties. 12. You know how long that took? How hard I worked." Viktor tested the bathroom doorknob. Locked, he laughed. "First one. His name was Darius. Young man. Black. 28 years old. He rented room from me. $50 per week. Cash. He saw me with another tenant. Saw me teaching him lesson. That tenant owed money. 3 months' rent. I was collecting. Darius said he was calling police. Leon grabbed the shower curtain rod, pulled it down. Aluminum, 5 feet long, light, not much of a weapon, but it was something. "I couldn't let him call police," Viktor said. "So I invited him to my room, said we talk, man to man. When he came in, I locked door behind him. I hit him with crowbar. Right here." Viktor tapped his own head. "He fell, but he didn't die. Strong young man. He tried to fight, tried to get to door. I hit him again, and again, until he stopped moving. Victor's voice was getting closer to the bathroom door, but he was still breathing, still alive. So I dragged him upstairs, to attic, up those steep stairs. He was heavy. It took long time. I zipped him in sleeping bag while he was unconscious. When he woke up, he couldn't move, couldn't get out. I could hear him, screaming, trying to unzip bag from inside, for hours, until he stopped. Leon positioned himself beside the door, rod raised like a bat. If Victor came through, Leon would swing for his head. One chance, that's all he'd get. Second one, her name was Keisha, pretty girl, 25. She had baby, little girl. She worked 2 jobs, very hard worker. She was friends with Darius. When Darius disappeared, she asked questions. Where did he go? Why so sudden? She found his wallet. In my trash, she confronted me. Leon could hear Victor right outside the bathroom door now. Could hear his breathing. Could smell cigarettes and body odor. I told her Darius threw away wallet because he was leaving, starting fresh. She didn't believe me. She said she was calling Darius's family, going to police. I couldn't allow that. So when she turned to leave my room, I hit her, back of head, with crowbar. She fell. I dragged her to attic. She woke up halfway upstairs, started screaming, fighting. But I'm strong. I got her up there, zipped her in bag. She clawed desperately at the fabric from inside. I could hear her scratching, crying, begging, for her baby, for hours, until she stopped. Victor stepped back from the door. Leon heard it, knew what was coming. Third one, Jamal. Older man, 31, military veteran, strong. He heard sounds from attic at night. Heard Keisha that first night. He told me next morning he was going to investigate, was going to check attic. I couldn't let him find them, so I drugged his coffee, put sedatives in it. But even drugged, he fought. Broke my wrist when I tried to grab him. See? Still crooked. Victor was building up momentum, preparing to ram the door. I had to hit him many times, many times. But finally he fell. I dragged him to attic. Hardest one. He was big, heavy, muscular. Took me 20 minutes to get him upstairs. When I zipped him in sleeping bag, he wasn't fully unconscious. He was trying to open zipper from inside. I watched him for 10 minutes, watching him try to escape. He almost did it. Got zipper halfway down. But then he stopped. Just stopped. And died. Victor backed up, preparing to charge. You know what's funny? Victor said. I installed those security bars to keep tenants from escaping. Told them it was for safety, for protection from burglars. But really, it was to keep them in. To make sure if they found out about others, they couldn't run, couldn't escape. Victor ran at the door. His shoulder hit it with massive force. Boom! The door frame cracked. The lock held, but barely. And now those bars keep you in. Ironic. He backed up, ran again. Boom! The lock broke. The door exploded inward. Victor stumbled into the bathroom. Leon swung the aluminum rod, hard as he could, aimed at Victor's head. Victor raised his arm, blocked it with the crowbar. Clang. The impact vibrated through Leon's arms, made his hands sting. Victor swung the crowbar at Leon's ribs. Leon dodged, barely. The crowbar smashed into the mirror above the sink. Glass exploded, shards everywhere. Leon dropped the rod, ducked under Victor's next swing, ran out of the bathroom, through the bedroom, into the hallway. Victor right behind him, crowbar hitting the wall, leaving dents in the drywall, swinging wildly. You can't run, Victor roared. Doors are chained, windows have bars, you're trapped. Leon ran down the stairs, feet pounding, Victor thundering behind him. Leon could feel the air move as the crowbar whooshed past his head, inches away from cracking his skull. Leon reached the first floor, living room, kitchen, nowhere to hide, nowhere to go, nowhere to run. He ran into the coat closet, pulled the door closed, crouched among winter jackets and boxes, held his breath, tried to quiet his racing heart. Victor's footsteps walked slowly through the living room, methodical, searching each room, opening each door. "You know what's funny?" Victor said, his voice echoing through the house. "I almost got away with it. 3 people dead, 3 families thinking they ran away. 3 missing person reports that police didn't care about, because who cares about poor black people in rooming house? Nobody. Nobody cares." Victor opened the pantry. Wrong door. Closed it. "I was going to retire, sell all properties, move back to Russia. I had $400,000 saved. 400,000. I could live like king in Russia. But then I had to wait for this house to sell, and it took too long. And I got nervous. What if new owners found attic? What if they discovered secret door? So I came back tonight, to move bodies, to finish job. But you found them already." Victor opened the hall closet, getting closer. "If you had waited one more day, just one more day, I would have moved them. You never would have known. House would just smell bad for few days. Then smell would go away. You would think it was nothing. But no, you had to investigate. You had to find them. You ruined everything." Victor's footsteps stopped right outside the coat closet. Silence. Leon could hear his own heartbeat, could hear his own breathing, could hear Victor breathing on the other side of the door. The doorknob started to turn. Leon burst out. Shoulder-checked Victor. Victor stumbled backward. The crowbar fell from his hand, clattered across the hardwood floor. Leon ran. Kitchen. Looking for anything. Any weapon. Any way out. He grabbed an 8-inch chef's knife from the block on the counter, turned to face Victor. Victor had recovered the crowbar, was walking slowly toward the kitchen. Flashlight in one hand, crowbar in the other. A predator cornering prey. "You going to stab me?" Victor asked, almost amused. "You ever stab person before? You ever kill anyone?" Leon held the knife out, his hand shaking uncontrollably. "Stay back, the police are coming." "I know. I hear sirens. They're still far. I have time." Victor took another step forward. "I killed 3 people. You killed 0. I grew up in Soviet Russia, 1980s. We had nothing. I fought in streets when I was 6 years old. I learned only strong survive. You sit at desk. You type on computer. You never fought, never killed. You don't have killer instinct." Victor fainted left. Leon flinched. Victor laughed. "See? You're weak." Like they were weak. Leon backed up. His back hit the counter. Nowhere to go. Victor raised the crowbar. Prepared to swing. Prepared to kill. And then, sirens. Loud now. Close. Getting louder every second. Victor's head snapped toward the front of the house. His expression changed. From predatory to panicked. No. Not enough time. The sirens were right outside now. Multiple vehicles. Screeching to a stop. Victor looked at Leon. Looked at the sirens. Made his decision. He turned. Ran toward the back of the house. Toward the mudroom. Toward the broken window he'd entered through. Leon chased him. "No! You don't get to run!" Victor reached the back door. Started unlocking the chain he'd put on it. Fumbling with it. Fingers shaking. Sirens screaming outside. Leon tackled him. Both crashed to the floor. The crowbar skittered away. Victor threw Leon off. Leon grabbed Victor's leg. Victor kicked Leon in the face. Leon felt his nose break, intense pain blinding him for a second. Blood poured down his face. But Leon didn't let go. Held on. Pulled Victor back down. "You're not leaving," Leon shouted through the blood. "You killed 3 people. You're not getting away." Victor was bigger, stronger. Tried to pull away. Tried to reach the door. But Leon held on. Desperate. Fighting for his life. Fighting for justice. The front door exploded inward. Crash. The chain snapped. Wood splintered. The door frame broke. "Police! Hands where we can see them. Now!" Flashlights flooded the house. Multiple officers, guns drawn, shouting commands. Victor tried one more time to pull away. Tried to reach the back door. Tried to escape. An officer appeared in the kitchen doorway. Gun aimed at Victor's head. "Don't move. Put your hands up. Do it now." Victor froze. slowly raised his hands, still on the floor, breathing hard. Leon let go of Victor's leg, rolled onto his back, blood still pouring from his broken nose, staining his shirt, pooling on the kitchen floor. 2 officers rushed in. One kicked Victor's legs apart, forced him face down, hands behind his back, cuffed him. "He killed them!" Leon shouted from the floor, his voice distorted from the broken nose. "He killed 3 people. They're in the attic. He told me everything. He tried to kill me too." More officers poured into the house, surrounding Victor, securing the scene. A woman's voice. Authoritative. Calm. "Victor Petrov, you're under arrest for murder. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law." Leon looked up. A black woman, 40s. Detective badge on her belt, sharp eyes, strong presence. Detective Shanice Mills. Victor spat blood on the floor. "I want lawyer. Now." "You'll get one," Mills said, "after we process you for 3 counts of murder and 2 counts of attempted murder." 2 officers hauled Victor to his feet, started walking him toward the front door. He looked down at Leon as they passed. "You got lucky," Victor said. "Should be dead, but you got lucky." "Maybe," Leon said, struggling to sit up, "but you're going to prison for the rest of your life." Victor's expression didn't change. No remorse, no fear, nothing. They walked him out, red and blue lights flashing through the windows, neighbors gathering on the street, watching. Mills knelt beside Leon. "Are you injured besides the nose?" "I don't think so. Everything hurts, but I can move everything. Paramedics are right outside. Let me get them." She keyed her radio. "I need medical in here. Victim is conscious and responsive. Possible broken nose. Stand by." She looked at Leon. "What's your name?" "Leon. Leon Robinson. This is my house. We just bought it last week." "And Victor Petrov was the previous owner?" "Yeah. We closed June 15th. Moved in same day. I found the bodies tonight." Mills pulled out a notepad, started writing. "You said he told you everything?" "Yes. While he was chasing me. He told me their names, how he killed them, everything." "And you're on the phone with 911 this whole time?" Yeah. I called 911 when I found the bodies. I dropped my phone when he chased me, but the call stayed connected." Mills's eyes widened. "The call stayed connected? The whole time?" "I think so. My phone's upstairs somewhere." Mills spoke into her radio again. "Control, priority message. We need to secure the 911 call recording from this address. Suspect made statements that may constitute confession. Preserve that call. Do not disconnect." She looked at Leon. "If that call recorded everything he said, that's a full confession. He can't take it back. It's evidence." 2 paramedics entered. Young guy and middle-aged woman. They knelt beside Leon, started checking him, shining lights in his eyes, checking his pupils, gently probing his nose. "Definitely broken," the woman said, "but clean break. No fragments. You'll need to see an ENT, but it's not life-threatening. Can you breathe?" Leon tried. His nose was completely blocked. Had to breathe through his mouth, not through my nose. "That's normal. The swelling will go down in a few days. We'll give you ice and some pain meds. You're going to have 2 black eyes by tomorrow. Fair warning." They helped Leon to his feet, walked him to the living room, sat him on the couch. The woman gave him an ice pack. The man gave him gauze to stop the bleeding. More officers were arriving, forensics teams, evidence techs, photographer, medical examiner. The house was filling up with people, all moving with purpose, all doing their jobs. Mills came back downstairs holding Leon's phone. Found it in the master bedroom. Call is still connected. The 911 operator heard everything. She put the phone on speaker. "This is Detective Mills, GBI. Who am I speaking with?" A woman's voice. "This is Operator Santos. I've been on the line with the caller for..." She checked. 22 minutes. I heard everything. The suspect's statements. The chase. The physical altercation. Everything. Can you confirm what you heard?" "Yes, ma'am. The suspect admitted to killing 3 people. Named them Darius, Keisha, Jamal, described how he killed each one, described hiding the bodies in the attic, described attacking the caller. All recorded, all on tape. Mills looked at Leon. You did it. You got his confession. It's all recorded. He's going to prison. Leon felt relief flood through him, so intense it made him dizzy. Good. Those people. They deserved better. Yes, they did. The medical examiner, a thin, older white man with wireframe glasses, came downstairs, his face grim. We've recovered 3 sets of remains from the attic space, all adult males. Advanced stages of decomposition. Appears they've been deceased for several months, all wrapped in sleeping bags. Evidence of trauma on all 3. This is definitely homicide. Mills nodded. We'll need full autopsies, tox screens, DNA, everything. Already coordinating with the lab. We'll have preliminary reports by Monday. Leon sat on his couch, holding ice to his face, blood on his shirt, his house full of police, his attic full of bodies, his marriage falling apart. He needed to call Tamara. He pulled out his phone, dialed her number. She answered on the second ring. Leon, I told you not to. Tamara. His voice stopped her, something in his tone. You need to come home, right now. Leon. I'm not. There were bodies. In the attic. 3 of them. The smell. It wasn't you. It was never you. It was them. 3 people. Dead. Hidden in our house. Silence. Then, what are you talking about? The guy who sold us the house. Victor. He killed 3 people, hid them in a secret attic behind a false wall, and he came back tonight to move them. He tried to kill me. The police arrested him. Oh my God. Her voice small, scared. Are you okay? My nose is broken. But yeah, I'm okay. The police are here. It's a crime scene, but I'm okay. I'm coming home, right now. I'm getting in the car. The police might not let you in. I don't care. I'm coming. She hung up. Leon sat in the silence. Paramedics packing up their equipment. Officers taking photos. Forensics dusting for fingerprints. His dream house. His first house. Now a crime scene. Yellow tape across the front door. Strangers in every room. Bodies being carried out in bags. Detective Mills sat beside him on the couch. I need to take your full statement, while everything's fresh. Are you up for that? Yeah, let's do it. For the next 2 hours, Leon told her everything. Finding the hidden door, climbing the stairs, opening the sleeping bag, falling, calling 911, Victor breaking in, the power going out, the chase, the fight, Victor's confession, every detail, every word. Mills recorded it all, asked clarifying questions, made sure the timeline was clear, made sure every fact was documented. This is a strong case, Mills said when they finished. We have his confession on the 911 recording. We have your testimony. We have the bodies. We have physical evidence. We have witnesses who will testify he sold this house and had no right to be here. Victor Petrov is going to spend the rest of his life in prison. What about the people he killed? Can you identify them? Based on what he told you, Darius, Keisha, Jamal, we can start searching missing persons reports. If they were tenants at this address, there will be paper trails, rent receipts, utility bills, witnesses. We'll find their families. How long were they up there? Based on the decomposition, probably 3 to 6 months. The medical examiner will narrow it down. But they've been dead for a while. Leon closed his eyes. 3 to 6 months. They'd been up there before he and Tamara even made an offer on the house. They'd been up there during the inspection, during the walkthrough, during closing, just waiting to be found. A commotion at the front door. Tamara's voice. That's my husband. Let me through. Mills nodded at the officers. They stepped aside. Tamara ran in, saw Leon, his face covered in blood, his nose swollen and crooked, 2 black eyes already forming. She threw her arms around him, started crying. Oh my God, your face. Are you okay? I'm okay. I'm okay. Leon held her. Finally. After days of fighting, After days of blame, he held his wife. "I'm so sorry," he whispered. "I'm so sorry I didn't believe you. You were right. You were right about everything. It's okay. No, it's not. You told me something was wrong. For days. And I made jokes. I blamed you. I humiliated you in front of people. While 3 people were dead upstairs. While their killer had hidden them in our house. And I blamed you." Tamara pulled back, looked at him, her eyes red, her mascara running. "We're going to get through this. Together. Okay? Okay." They held each other while the police worked around them, while forensics collected evidence, while the medical examiner supervised the removal of 3 bodies that had been hidden in their home. By 4 in the morning, the police were finished with the initial scene processing. They told Leon and Tamara they couldn't stay in the house. It was still an active crime scene. They needed to find somewhere else to sleep. They went to Tamara's sister's apartment. Didn't sleep. Just lay in bed holding each other, processing, trying to understand what had happened. The next morning, Sunday, June 24th, Detective Mills called. "We identified the bodies," she said. "Just like Victor told you. Darius Jackson, 28. Keisha Williams, 25. Jamal Pierce, 31. All 3 were reported missing earlier this year. All 3 were tenants at your address, and all 3 families have been looking for them since March." "Oh God," Leon said. "Their families have been searching all this time." "Yes. I'm going to notify them today. I wanted to call you first, to let you know, and to say thank you. What you did last night fighting Victor, keeping him there until we arrived, recording his confession, you gave these families answers. You gave them closure. You gave them justice. I just want them to know their loved ones didn't just disappear, didn't just abandon them. They'll know. I promise you that." Mills hung up. Leon told Tamara everything. 3 people, Tamara whispered. 3 families have been searching for months, not knowing. And now they'll know. Because of you. Because you didn't give up. Because you kept fighting. Leon looked at his wife. "I almost died. If the police had been 2 minutes later, but they weren't. You're here. You're alive. And those families are going to get answers." Over the next week, the story exploded. Local news. National news. 3 bodies found in hidden attic, homeowner fights off killer. It was everywhere. Leon's phone wouldn't stop ringing. Reporters, producers, documentary makers. Everyone wanted an interview. Leon ignored them all. He only wanted to talk to the families. Detective Mills arranged a meeting. 1 week after the discovery, July 1st, 2018, Leon and Tamara met them at the police station. A conference room, coffee and tissues on the table. Gloria Jackson was 58, short, round, gray hair pulled back tight, eyes that looked like they'd cried an ocean. She took Leon's hands, gripped them. "Thank you. Thank you for finding my son." Leon didn't know what to say. "I'm so sorry for your loss." "Darius was getting clean," Gloria said, her voice shaking. 6 months sober. He was so proud. He called me every Sunday, every single Sunday for 6 months. And then one Sunday in March, he didn't call. I knew. A mother knows. I knew something terrible happened. She pulled out her phone, showed Leon a photo. A young man, smiling, alive, handsome, full of potential. "That's my baby," Gloria said. "That's my Darius, 28 years old. His whole life ahead of him. And that monster took him from me." Monique Williams was 29, thin, beautiful, exhausted. She had a little girl with her, maybe 3 years old. Big eyes, quiet. "This is Destiny," Monique said. "Keisha's daughter, my niece. I've been raising her since April." Leon knelt down to the little girl's level. "Hi, Destiny." Destiny hid behind Monique's leg. "Keisha was everything," Monique said, her voice thick with tears. "She worked 2 jobs, saved every penny. She was 3 months away from getting her own apartment. 3 months away from having a place for her and Destiny. She'd saved $3,000. $3,000 that's now in a college fund because Keisha won't be here to use it." Monique wiped her eyes. Every Sunday, Keisha came for dinner. To see Destiny. April 8th, 2018, she was here. We had spaghetti. Her favorite. She was so excited about the apartment, showed me pictures of the furniture she wanted. A pink bed for Destiny. She'd already picked it out. Monique looked at Leon. April 15th. She didn't come. I called. No answer. I went to the house. Victor told me she'd moved out. Didn't say where. I filed a missing person report. The police did nothing. Because she was black, because she was poor, because she rented a room in a boarding house, they assumed she just left. She held Destiny close. Thank you for proving she didn't just leave. Thank you for showing she was taken, that she fought, that she mattered. Isaiah Pierce was 35, muscular, military haircut, tattoos on his arms, eyes that had seen combat. Jamal and I are both Marines, Isaiah said, his voice controlled but strained. We deployed together to Afghanistan. I came back okay. Jamal came back. Different. PTSD. Nightmares. He couldn't hold jobs. Started drinking. He pulled out a photo. 2 young men in dress blues. Brothers, warriors. But he was getting better. He'd stopped drinking. Was going to VA support groups. Was taking medication. He was finally getting his life back on track. And then he missed a family dinner in May. I was annoyed. Thought he'd relapsed. Thought he was drunk somewhere. I didn't even call to check on him. Isaiah's jaw clenched. But he wasn't drunk. He was dead. He was in a sleeping bag in an attic. And I was sitting at dinner, annoyed that he didn't show up. I'm his brother. I was supposed to protect him. And I failed. You couldn't have known, Leon said. But I should have. He was my brother, my responsibility, and I failed him. Detective Mills stood at the front of the room. I want you all to know that we're building an airtight case against Viktor Petrov. We have his full confession recorded on the 911 call. We have the bodies. We have forensic evidence showing the victims fought back, showing they were alive when he sealed them in those sleeping bags. He's not getting away with this. When's the trial? Gloria asked. We're still collecting evidence. But probably 6 months. Prosecutor wants to make sure we have everything. What if he claims self-defense? Monique asked. He can't, Mills said firmly. We have him on tape admitting premeditation, admitting he drugged Jamal, admitting he knocked Keisha unconscious, admitting he dragged Darius while he was still alive. There's no self-defense argument that works here. Good, Isaiah said. I want him in prison forever. He will be, Mills promised. The prosecutor is going for 3 consecutive life sentences without parole. He'll die in prison. Leon spoke up. Detective Mills told me the forensics showed they all fought, that they tried to survive. I wanted you to know that. Your loved ones didn't give up. They fought until they couldn't fight anymore. Gloria started crying. Monique put her arm around her. Darius had defensive wounds. Mills said gently. Broken bones in his hands from blocking blows, fractures in his jaw from being hit. He fought Victor even though Victor had a weapon. He never stopped trying. Keisha had skin under her fingernails, Mills continued. She scratched him, got his DNA. Even after being knocked unconscious, when she woke up in that sleeping bag, she clawed at the fabric trying to escape. She fought for hours. And Jamal, Mills said to Isaiah, he almost escaped. The forensics show he got the sleeping bag partially unzipped. Even drugged, even beaten, he almost freed himself. He fought to the very last moment. Isaiah's eyes filled with tears. That's my brother. That's a Marine. We don't quit. We don't ever quit. They talked for another hour, sharing memories, sharing grief, sharing the strange bond that forms between people connected by tragedy. When it was time to leave, Gloria hugged Leon, held him tight. You gave me my son back. Not alive, but back. I can bury him now. I can say goodbye. That's more than I had a week ago. Thank you. Monique hugged him next. Destiny will know what happened to her mother. She'll know Keisha didn't abandon her. She'll know Keisha fought to come home. Thank you for that. Isaiah shook Leon's hand, looked him in the eye. You're brave. Most people would have run. Would have let Victor escape. You fought. You kept him there. You got his confession. You're a good man." Leon and Tamara left the police station, drove in silence, processing everything. "We have to sell the house," Tamara said. "I know. I can't live there. Not after knowing what happened. Not knowing they were up there while we were down there living our lives. I'll call a realtor tomorrow." They sold the house 6 weeks later for $170,000, a $110,000 loss. But neither of them cared. They just wanted it gone. Wanted to start over. They bought a different house in a different neighborhood, started over, tried to move on, but they never forgot. Never forgot the smell. Never forgot finding those sleeping bags. Never forgot Victor's voice in the darkness confessing to murder. Never forgot 3 families getting answers they'd been searching for. 6 months later, December 2018, Victor Petrov's trial began. The courthouse was packed, media everywhere, cameras on the steps, reporters doing live shots, the families in the front row, Leon and Tamara in the second row. Victor sat at the defense table in an orange jumpsuit, shackled, handcuffed, his face blank, emotionless. The prosecution played the 911 recording, the entire courtroom listening in silence. Victor's voice. Calm, casual, describing the murders. First one, he saw me beating another tenant. I hit him with crowbar. I dragged him to attic. He fought entire time. Second one, Keisha. I knocked her unconscious. When she woke up, she was already zipped in sleeping bag. I could hear her screaming. For hours. Third one, Jamal. Even drugged, he fought. Broke my wrist. I had to hit him many times. He almost got the sleeping bag open, but then he stopped. People in the courtroom were crying, Gloria sobbing, Monique holding Destiny close, Isaiah staring at Victor with pure hatred. Victor's lawyer tried everything. Claimed mental illness, claimed diminished capacity, claimed Victor didn't understand the severity of his actions. The prosecution destroyed every argument, pointed out how Victor built a false wall, installed security bars, chained the doors, liquidated his properties, fled the state. All premeditated, all calculated. "This is not a man who didn't understand," the prosecutor said. "This is a man who knew exactly what he was doing, who planned it meticulously, who tried to cover it up, who would have gotten away with it if not for the courage of Leon Robinson." Leon testified, told the jury everything, finding the hidden door, the bodies, Victor returning, the chase, the fight, Victor's confession. "He told me they were weak," Leon said. "He said they deserved to die because they threatened his business. He showed no remorse. Zero. He was angry I found them. Not sorry he killed them. Angry his plan was ruined," Tamara testified. About Victor chasing them, threatening them, trying to kill them both. The forensic pathologist testified, showed autopsy photos, explained the defensive wounds, the evidence of struggle, the slow deaths by suffocation. All 3 victims were alive when sealed in the sleeping bags, the doctor said. All 3 suffocated slowly over a period of hours. They would have been conscious, terrified, fighting to breathe. "This is one of the most painful ways to die," Gloria testified, voice shaking. "My son called me every Sunday. For 6 months he never missed. Then he didn't call. And I knew something terrible happened. But the police didn't care. They said he probably just moved. They didn't look for him. If they had investigated when I first reported him missing, would he still be alive? Would Victor have killed the others? I'll never know," Monique testified. "My sister was 3 months from getting her own apartment, 3 months from giving her daughter a stable home. She was so close, and Victor took that from her. Took it because she asked questions, because she had compassion. Now Destiny is growing up without a mother," Isaiah testified. "My brother served his country in Afghanistan, came back with PTSD, but he was fighting it, going to the VA, getting better. And Victor killed him because he wanted to investigate a noise, because he was curious, because he had the courage to check. My brother died being brave, and Victor Petrov will never know what bravery is." Victor never testified, never took the stand, never spoke in his own defense. Just sat there, blank-faced, emotionless. The jury deliberated for 3 hours. The verdict: Guilty. First-degree murder. 3 counts. Guilty. Attempted murder. 2 counts. Guilty. Kidnapping. 3 counts. Guilty. Abuse of a corpse. 3 counts. When the verdict was read, Gloria collapsed in tears. Monique held her. Isaiah closed his eyes. Leon and Tamara held hands. Victor showed nothing. No reaction, no emotion, nothing. The sentencing hearing was 2 weeks later. December 20th, 2018. The families gave victim impact statements. Gloria spoke first, voice strong despite the tears. My son Darius was 28 years old. He was getting sober, getting his life together. And Viktor Petrov murdered him because Darius had a conscience, because Darius wanted to do the right thing. And then Viktor hid him in an attic, zipped him in a sleeping bag, let him suffocate slowly. My son died terrified and alone in the dark. And Viktor Petrov showed no remorse. None. So I hope he spends every single day for the rest of his life in prison, thinking about what he did, about the lives he destroyed, and I hope he dies alone, just like my son did. Monique spoke next, holding Destiny. My sister Keisha was 25 years old. She had a 3-year-old daughter. She worked 2 jobs, saved $3,000. Was 3 months from getting her own apartment. And Viktor Petrov murdered her because she asked questions, because she cared about her friend. He knocked her unconscious, dragged her to an attic, zipped her in a sleeping bag, and listened to her scream for hours. My niece will never know her mother, will never remember her, because Viktor Petrov took that from us, and he should never, ever be free. Isaiah spoke last, voice hard, military bearing. My brother Jamal Pierce was a United States Marine. He served his country honorably, came back with PTSD, with nightmares, with demons. But he was fighting them, getting better, and Viktor Petrov murdered him, drugged him, beat him, zipped him in a sleeping bag and watched him try to escape. My brother almost made it, almost got that zipper open, almost saved himself. Because Marines don't quit. We fight to the end. And Viktor Petrov will spend the rest of his life knowing that even drugged and beaten, my brother almost beat him. I hope that knowledge eats at him every single day for the rest of his miserable life. The judge looked at Viktor. Mr. Petrov, do you have anything to say before sentencing? Viktor stood, looked at the families, his expression cold. I did what I had to do, he said, Russian accent thick. They threatened my business, everything I worked for. I protected what was mine. This is America, land of opportunity, land of capitalism. I built empire from nothing, and they were going to destroy it. I protected myself. Gasps in the courtroom. Gloria stood up. You murdered them. The judge banged the gavel. Order! Miss Jackson, please sit. Gloria sat, shaking with rage. The judge turned back to Viktor. Mr. Petrov, you did not protect yourself. You committed premeditated murder. 3 times. You disposed of human beings like they were trash. You devastated 3 families. You showed absolutely no remorse. Not in your confession. Not during trial. Not today. The judge paused. Let the silence hang heavy. I hereby sentence you to life in prison without the possibility of parole on each count of first-degree murder. The sentences will run consecutively. That is 3 life sentences. You will never leave prison. You will die there. And I hope every moment of your remaining years, you think about Darius Jackson, Keisha Williams, and Jamal Pierce, the 3 people whose lives you stole. Court is adjourned. The gavel came down. Guards moved toward Viktor, started to cuff him for transport. As they led him past the families, Gloria stood again. My son was a better man than you'll ever be. You hear me? Darius was worth 100 of you. Monique stood. Keisha had more love in her heart than you'll ever understand. Isaiah stood. Jamal fought for this country. What have you ever done besides hurt people? Viktor kept walking. Didn't look at them. Didn't acknowledge them. Just walked out of the courtroom in shackles, through a door. Gone. Forever. The families embraced, crying. It wasn't joy. It wasn't closure. It was just something. A recognition that justice had been served, that the man who'd stolen their loved ones would pay. Leon and Tamara stayed for the entire hearing. Afterward, they met the families outside. "Thank you," Gloria said again, hugging Leon. "For everything. For finding Darius. For fighting Victor. For making this day possible." "I just did what anyone would have done," Leon said. "No," Gloria said firmly. "Most people would have run, would have let him escape. But you fought. You recorded his confession. You gave us this. Don't minimize that." Monique hugged them both. Destiny will grow up knowing her mother didn't abandon her, knowing Keisha fought to come home. That's because of you. Isaiah shook Leon's hand one last time. "You did right by all of them. Thank you." 1 year later, June 2019, the families held a memorial service. They buried Darius, Keisha, and Jamal in plots side by side at a cemetery in East Atlanta. A joint ceremony. The community coming together. Leon and Tamara attended. Sat in the back, giving the families space. Gloria gave a eulogy for Darius. "My son fought. The forensics proved it. He had broken bones from defending himself. He never gave up. That was Darius. Stubborn, strong, a fighter. I'm so proud of him, not because he died fighting, but because he lived fighting. Fighting addiction, fighting to get clean, fighting to make me proud. And he did. He made me so proud." Monique gave a eulogy for Keisha. "My sister had the biggest heart. She worked 2 jobs for Destiny. Saved every penny. $3,000. Money that's now in a college fund. Because that's what Keisha would want. She'd want Destiny to have opportunities, to have education, to have a future. And she will. Because Keisha's sacrifice won't be forgotten." Isaiah gave a eulogy for Jamal. "My brother was a Marine, served honorably, came back wounded. But he fought, went to support groups, took medication, was getting better. And even in his final moments, drugged and beaten, he fought. He almost escaped. Because Marines don't quit. We never quit. Semper Fi, Jamal. Semper Fi, brother." They lowered 3 caskets into the ground. Together, side by side, people placed flowers, white roses, carnations, lilies. Gloria placed a photo of Darius on his grave, smiling, alive, young. Monique placed a child's drawing on Keisha's grave. Destiny had drawn her mother. Stick figure with a big smile. "I love you, Mommy." In crayon, Isaiah placed Jamal's Marine Corps flag on his grave, folded perfectly, positioned precisely. After most people left, Leon and Tamara approached the graves. Leon knelt, touched Darius's headstone. "I'm sorry I didn't find you sooner, but you're home now. You're at peace, and the man who did this is in prison. Forever." He moved to Keisha's grave. "Your daughter is beautiful. Your sister is raising her right, telling her about you, making sure she knows how much you loved her." He moved to Jamal's grave. "Thank you for your service. Your brother is making sure other veterans get help, making sure no one else falls through the cracks. You'd be proud." Tamara knelt beside Leon. "We'll remember you, all 3 of you. We'll make sure people know your names." They stood, walked to their car. Gloria was waiting by the entrance. "I wanted to give you this." She handed Leon a photo. Darius, in a graduation gown, smiling wide. "That's my baby. Before everything went wrong, that's who he really was. I want you to have it, so you remember him as a person, not just a victim." "Thank you," Leon said, taking the photo carefully. "I'll treasure this, and I want you to know," Gloria continued, "that if Darius could say anything, he'd say thank you. Thank you for finding him. Thank you for fighting for him. Thank you for justice." She hugged Leon, hugged Tamara, walked to her car. Leon and Tamara stood in the parking lot. "How do we move on from this?" Tamara asked. "I don't know if we can. I think this changes us. Forever. Are we still us? I think so. Just different. Older. More aware of how fragile everything is." They drove home. To their new house, the one that felt safe, untainted, but Leon knew he'd never forget. The smell, the sleeping bags, Victor's voice in the darkness. 3 lives stolen. He'd carry it forever, and maybe that was right. Because Darius and Keisha and Jamal deserved to be remembered. So Leon made sure they were. Told their stories. Made sure the world knew their names. And Victor Petrov sat in a maximum security prison cell in South Georgia. 6 by 8 feet. Concrete walls. Steel bars. Alone. He would die there. Justice wasn't perfect. Didn't bring anyone back. Didn't heal all wounds. But it was something. And for Gloria Jackson, Monique Williams, and Isaiah Pierce, something was better than nothing. Their loved ones hadn't been forgotten. The man who killed them would pay, and 3 names would be remembered forever. Darius Jackson, Keisha Williams, Jamal Pierce. They fought to survive. They died in darkness, but their memory lives in light forever.